ਸਤਨਾਮ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ। ਇੱਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤ ਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਜਪ ਆ ਸੱਚ ਜੁਗਾ ਸੱਚ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਸੱਚ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਵੀ ਸੱਚ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ
सतनाम श्री वाहिगुरु साहिब जी। निकट वजीर खान को देखो, कहो ताहे को सतगुर आन।
गुरु रूप गुरु प्यारी गुरु सवारी गुरु खालसा साध संगत जी, जिन्ने भी सतगुरां दे प्यार विच जुड़े होए, सतगुरां दी निੱਘੀ गोद विच हाजिर हन। Let us all focus our minds on the divine swoop of Dhan Sat Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. And let's condition our minds that the Katha that is about to start, which is related to the Shaheedi of Dhan Sat Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj, that Sat Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj, we are sitting in their Sangat, they are in the form of Dhan Sat Guru Granth Sahib Ji Sache Paatshah. And whilst our mind is conditioned as such, let us lovingly, looking at Satguru Granth Sahib Ji, join in Gur Fateh. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. So Guru Roop, Guru Pyari Sadh Sangat Ji, last week we heard how Bhai Sadhu Ji, a Premi Gursikh of Dhan Sat Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj, had only one desire, one ichha, that Dhan Sat Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj visits their house, their greh. Guru Maharaj, the one who fulfills the desires and needs and wants, ichha of all their Gursikhs, Maharaj goes to their house in Lahore. They have already given the Gurta Gaddi to Satguru Hargobind Sahib Ji Maharaj, who are only at the age of 9, at Harmandir Sahib in the presence of Paisa Pai Gurdas Ji, Baba Buddha Ji, and other Mukhi Gursikhs. They have told Mata Ganga Ji that we will not be returning. We are going to smash the pot of this body on the head of the Mughal Raj and destroy the tapasya they have done in previous lives to gain this. We have given them this Raj, now it's time we take it back. So Guru Maharaj arrives at Bhai Sadhu Ji's house. We heard how much Sikh Sangat is coming and how they are joining in, how they are sitting in Sangat. We learn from that how we must come into Sangat and sit in Sangat. Out of the 9 types of bhakti, to listen to Kirtan, Gurbani Ji, to listen to the Katha of Satguru Ji with prem is your rasta to mukti. The whole point of coming into this Sangat is so Satguru Ji Maharaj puts us on that path that will lead us to salvation, to mukti. Even though we may in our personal jivans have some kind of shortfall, the Guru Sahib Ji Maharaj removes all of them because they are the Samarat, the all-powerful Guru. So we learned how the Sangat came and sat, prem de naal, Bani suni, listen to Bani, Bani kant kiti, memorized it. Prem de naal kade koi aanda, kade koi janda. And then a few days later, Guruji Maharaj at the benti of the Sangat went for a stroll, as we say, along the Ravi Darya, along the river Ravi. Maharaj is being accompanied by thousands of Sangat. Whoever lays their eyes on Guru Maharaj, at once, andron, mohe jande hai, they fall in love with Guru Sahib Ji. In the opposite direction was coming Chandu. I explained that Chandu is the main character in the sense. So Guruji is the main character, but no one can call Guruji main because just how main they are, no one can ever quantify. Chandu is a very pivotal character in this Katha because he's the one who's got so much hatred towards Guru Kar that he has even poisoned, if I can say, the mind of the Emperor Jahangir. So when he sees this crowd, he sends his servant over. We're just going to recap shortly. This servant goes over, comes back and reports, Guroo Arjan Dev Ji hai. Chandu inside at once sets on fire that the Dushman, my Dushman, he looks at Guruji as Dushman. Maharaj is nirvair. Maharaj has no Dushman. That my Dushman is in my Nagar, my city of Lahore. Now I have got him where I want him. So Chandu has gone to the court of Jahangir and said very inflammatory things, masala la ke. We hear Jahangir, the one who you would find 2 lakh rupiah is walking around in Lahore without any care. He hasn't even come to pay you any respect. With Chandu are his other ministers who also box in Chandu's corner. They agree with what Chandu is saying. They start to poison the Badshah's mind even more. So much so that where we left off last week, the Badshah had decided to send someone to go and fetch Guru Arjan Dev Ji so that Guru Arjan Dev Ji can attend the court, the darbar of Jahangir. Even though Chandu is using words like summon, demand, having brought here, Jahangir still is a king. He has to think many things. Instead of sending guards and demanding the attendance of Dhan Sat Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj, he sees his Wazir Khan friend, his personal aide, his friend, someone who he confides in. He sees him walk into the same darbar, and he gets the attention of Wazir Khan, and that's from where we will start this week's episode off. So our Sab Mai Pai, Prem de Naal, let us focus our attention on the beautiful divine swoop of Dhan Sat Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj, and let's listen what happens. So he sees, Jahangir sees Wazir Khan Nikat Nere, sees him coming close to him and gets his attention. And he says to Wazir Khan, hey Wazir Khan, I've heard that Guru Arjan Dev Ji is in Lahore. Can you go and fetch him? Hanji.
सुन आयस को तत् छिन गमनो
Soon as Wazir Khan hears this, inside ikdam, he's filled with joy, filled with bliss. He is a very premi of Guru Arjan Dev Ji. This is the same Wazir Khan that Dhan Satguru Hargobind Sahib Ji Maharaj later on, when he comes from Delhi to do Beinti to Satguru Hargobind Sahib Ji Maharaj to come to Delhi, Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji Maharaj will say to Wazir Khan, "We hey Wazir Khan, tu bada premi Sikh hai sade ghar da, Guru Nanak Dev Ji de ghar da," meaning you are a very dear Sikh. We will find out how he is a Sikh, because the words, the name Wazir Khan suggests he is Muslim. He is Muslim. But Sikhi is that light that covers the entire planet. And anyone who bows their head before Satguruji becomes their Sikh. So, sun ayas ko tatchin gamano, ayas hukam. Soon as he hears this hukam from Jahangir, we go and do Beinti to Satguru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj to come.
जैस थाल श्री अर्जन भगवान
He leaves straight away, he goes to the marketplace, Guru Ki Sangat Ji, and he buys 2 gifts. One is like a mitha, like we bring chocolates for Maharaj or say mithiyai adak. And another gift is something of some value. He takes this, and where does he go? Dhan is the writing of this Mahan Gursikh, Paisa Bhai Santokh Singh Ji. Look how prem de naal he writes, Jis thal Sri Arjan Bhagwan, to that place where the Bhagwan, the master of the universe, Sri Arjan Dev Ji is
तार अकोर को
Tar Akor ko. Again the kamal of this Kavi Paisa Bhai Santokh Singh Ji. Tar Akor ko. Tar here will mean Peta and Nazar. I beg your pardon, Akor will mean Peta, meaning gift, and Nazar, his sights. Tar means to set. He sets his eyes. Das did Beinti last week, right at the beginning of Katha. Guru Ki Sangat Ji, just to say at the end of May or the beginning of June, we Guru Arjan Dev Ji Shaheed ho gaye. Bas enni gal keh ke muka deni. Guru Ki Sangat Ki, what prem is there between the Sikh and the Guru, just to leave Guru Ji Shaheedi at that. Guru Ji Shaheedi, Sangat Ji, is that sagar, is that ocean. ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਰਤਨ ਨਿਕਲਦੇ ਹੀ ਜਾਣੇ, ਜਿੰਨੇ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਕੱਢੀ ਚਲੋ. Whenever we listen to Katha, with ik pankti, there is so much to learn. Here what we learn is how Wazir Khan comes into the Sangat where Guru Arjan Dev Ji is, puts his eyes on Satguruji, with his eyes fixed on Satguruji. Tar Akor ko, the peta, the gifts he bought, he places them at the Charan Kamal of Satguru Arjan Dev Ji.
करे ने होरन हाथ का हाथ जुर जुग बंधन ठान.
So when we come here, let us do this as well. Let's not be concentrating on our phone or whether our car's going to get a ticket or whether we turn the iron off at home. Soon as when we leave home, let's condition our mind then that the one that we very easily say is the King of Kings, we're actually going to meet the King of Kings. If we set our mind from home, Satguru Ji Maharaj in Sukham Swaroop comes to collect us from our house and accompanies us all the way here. Then when we come here, thalle hath dhone, muh dhone, akkhan chitte pone, then come up here with our eyes set on the divine Swaroop of Dhan Satguru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. And then whilst looking at Satguru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, Fateh Bulani Guru Sahib Ji. Once we've done Fateh, then put the Maya in the Golak. If we put the Maya in the Golak, Fateh Bulayani, what we've given importance to is the Maya. Here Wazir Khan has got his eye on Guru Arjan Dev Ji. Then he puts the Peta before Maharaj, whilst looking straight at, what taking darshan of Satguru Ji. And then Karne Horan, he does Beinti, Hath Jor, puts his hands together. Jug Bandhan Athan, twice he does Namaskar, he does Matha Tekana to Guru Arjan Dev Ji. Why twice, Guru Ki Sangat Ji? The first one is saying, Maharaj, you are the Ad. The second one, you are the Ant. That you are the beginning, Ad Sach, Jugad Sach. Happy such, Nanak hosi pi such. Look how connecting with the one who he has fallen in love with, the one who he has accepted as his guru. When we practice our Sikhi, our coming to the Gurdwara or such, Maharaj doesn't gain anything. They are complete. We enrich our own lives when we practice this kind of Matha Tekana. So he does Matha Tekana twice. One with Maharaj Ad, then Ant. Then once Maharaj in Lord, you are my keeper here and you are my keeper in the hereafter. Dowa Matha Tekana also represents. First Matha Tekana, Maharaj, my whole worldly belongings are yours. Tan man tan sab saunp gur ko hukm manniya paiya. My whole worldly is yours. Out of the 9 types of bhakti, the end of bhakti is something called Atam Nivedan. The second Matha Tekana is Maharaj, worldly will come and go, but my Antar Sarup will never die. This too is yours. Then he speaks. He says, Tan, Tan, great are you, Guroo Arjan Dev Sahib Ji, Maharaj. Gira Tan hai, Maharaj, your board. Whatever you say is greater. Jeh sun dukhte ubre pran. He said, when I heard your words, my life was saved. He's talking about when he came to see Guroo Arjan Dev Ji, which I'll come to a bit. What is mostly focusing on the words of Guroo Arjan Dev Ji, what are they? Tan Sri Sukhmani Sahib Ji di Bani. Payo Jalodhar, he had a Bamari called ascites, Guru Ki Sangat Ji. And with ascites what happens is fluid collects in your stomach area. It keeps on collecting and it's got nowhere to go. Because it doesn't come out while urinating, when it's got no connection with the other exit. It keeps on collecting until the point where it restricts your breathing. It not only restricts your breathing, it puts you in great difficulty and pain. So he's saying, Payo Jalodhar ara bahu pira. I have this Bamari of ascites and I was in great pain. Nisbasur Byakulta Pai. He said, day and night I was wailing in pain. So he's saying, I was saying, hi, help me. He would go semi-conscious. He'd be coming in and out of consciousness. And he'd be saying, help me, help me. He doesn't even know he's saying help me. Because so far whatever he's attempted to do to get better has come to no किस हकीम ते साथ ना आए गुरु की संगत जी. I'm going to try painting a picture here. He is the personal aid, the mittar of Jahangir. Jahangir can have doctors brought from Europe if he wants to. He can have them brought from Africa if he wants to. He can have doctors brought from China to help his friend if he wants to. And a lot has been done. So many different doctors from different backgrounds have been brought to this Vajir Khan ji. Nobody has been able to help. Not only doctors, medicine men, but also people that are, say, spiritually gifted. No one has been able to help him thus far. Guru ki sangat ji prem na rakho satnam Sri Vaheguru. Paat Sukhmani te. When he was on his manja, in his mahal, saying, hi, help me. Ek din, after such a long time of being in discomfort and pain, what he hears is someone close by, outside of the walls of his quarters. And what he hears, the words he hears, he does not know what those words are. But as soon as those words enter his ears, he gets relief. Don't forget, he's a wise, learned man. He knew straight away that the pain that has subsided all of a sudden is due to these words entering my ears. He gets one of his servants, he goes, run outside and pata karo kaun hai. Go outside and find out who that is. His servant runs outside and he sees this Gursikh walking to the darya. It's early morning. Amrit vele shnaan karan ja raha. And he sees them, and this Gursikh is reading the Bani of Sukhmani Sahib. And the servant runs up and he says to this Gursikh, he said, "Hey Premia, Wazir Khan ji bula rahe hai." And this Sikh looks at him whilst reading Sri Sukhmani. He doesn't stop, he just goes behind him. They enter into the house of this Wazir Khan, where he is laying on his bed in pain. As the Sikh is getting closer, his pain completely disappears. While he's laying there, he says to the Gursikh, he said, "Bhai, jaan aatu hona, jehdi tu kalam padde ha, they call, we say Gurbani, they call it kalam." He said, "The kalam that you are reading has given me sukha di mani, sukh mani." So this Gursikh keeps on reading. Whoever's phone is going off, Guru ki Sangat ji, have some respect for Guru Ji's darbar. Tada phone please band kar lo ja bahar le jao. So this Gursikh keeps on reading Sukhmani. Jadon Sukhmani Sahib ji di Bani da bhog paya, meaning when the bhog happens, when the Bani becomes complete, his pain starts to kick in again. And he says to this Gursikh, "Padi ja." The Gursikh, he's a naam nasiya. To him, we get tired of reading Bani. Jehde naam nasi hunde, they never get tired of Bani. If they could read nothing but Bani all day long, they would read nothing but Bani all day long. This Gursikh starts off reading Gaudi Mahalla Panjama again. And as he's reading, he's getting relief. When one more part happens, he puts his hands together. He goes, "Whoever you are, whatever kalam you're reading, I'll pay whatever it costs. Whatever you earn, whatever you do for a living, I will not only meet that, I will double it. Tu mere kol rahe, tu Bani pad." Don't forget, he's had no relief in a good few months. He said, "Tu mere kol rahe, tu Bani pad." The Gursikh keeps on reading Bani 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. They get another few Gursikhs involved, and after a few days, this Gursikh says to him, he said, "Wazir Khan, why don't you just come with me to whose Bani it is? Jedi ye Bani ha, why don't you come with me to him? Whatever your takleef is, Guru Arjan Dev ji is so merciful, or aise Kareem, Satguru Han, that they'll take mercy on you, tera rog dur kar denge." After a good few days of getting peace, he's feeling stronger as well, Guru ki Sangat ji. So Wazir Khan goes with this Gursikh. When they go to Amritsar Sahib, us wele Guru ki Sangat ji car seva chal rahi sigi. So the seva was happening of the Asthan that is Harmandir Sahib today. The Sarovar, the pool, it was being excavated. This Gursikh brings him along. Tan Guru Arjan Dev ji Antarjami Date, they already knew why he was there. Maharaj looks at him and smiles. Why? Koi pishle janam di ruh vapas aa rahi Guru de kol. This is a ruh, a being from some last life that is returning to Guru. Maharaj smiles at him. He comes, matha tekya to Satguru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj. And he said, "Hey Maharaj, I suffer from jalodar, from ascites. Kirpa karo bhi mere se bhulao pami. Te mera dukh dur kar do Maharaj, rid me of this disease." Tan Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj, dekho, कोई मेरे वर्गा होंगे तो कह देंगे भी yes, I'll do it. पर लोग सतगुरु अर्जन देव जी महाराज जिस हाथ जोड़ कर वेखे सोए, the one who's got all the power in his hands. What does Guru Arjan Dev ji say? Maharaj कहते हैं, look over there, साडा Sikh होगा, our Sikh is coming. Baba Buddha ji, who is the great Sikh of the house of Guru Nanak Dev ji, has been in this house since Guru Nanak Dev ji. Maharaj ne aap de hathaं de naal inu thapya, made him what he is. Go to him, he will rid you of this bimari. Only he can do this. Soon as Wazir Khan hears this, he runs over to where Baba Buddha Ji is coming. Tantar Baba Buddha Sahib Ji Maharaj is walking with a tokra on their head, full of mitti that they've excavated from where the Sarovar is. And as Babaji is coming, this Wazir Khan runs over and grabs Babaji's Charan Kamal. As he grabs Charan Kamal, Babaji says, "Oi, shad minnu." He said, "Maharaj, mera dukh dur kar do." Babaji said, "Jithe te matha tekna," meaning to Rayan, you haven't stayed over there. Well, you have done. Let go. Ram Guru Ki Sangat Ji, don't forget, he's a very, very intelligent person. He knows that what Guru Ji has spoken, Guroo Arjan Dev Ji, that said, "Oh, the Baba Buddha Ji, there's Baba Buddha Ji, he will rid you of your pains and problems." He doesn't let go of Babaji's gitte. When he doesn't let go, Babaji says, "Once let go, twice let go." Then the tokra that was on Babaji's head, Babaji ne marya, hit him right in the back with it. Babaji can they let go? Babaji hit him in the back. The tokre Guru Ki Sangat Ji are made of bamboo, thin bamboo, and it's interwoven. One of those twigs of bamboo had come loose and it's quite sharp. As soon as that twig, as soon as the tokra hit him, the twig went in through his side and into his abdomen. Ikdam, at once, and that is leaked out of there. Possibly the first keyhole surgery case ever. When Babaji is hitting, Guru Ki Sangat Ji, actually, we're not even like the shoes, we're not like even the dust where Babaji, Baba Buddha Ji walks. But Guru Arjan Dev Ji, who had actually cured him, soon as Guru Arjan Dev Ji's bachan came out there, Pavan Mukharbind, that there's Baba Buddha Ji, matha tek, he will cure you. His curing had begun straight away. So he had been cured by the bachan of Dhan Sat Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj. That's why he said, "Gira Dhan hai." And he said that, "Maharaj, yo Sukhmani Sahib Ji di Bani, Paat Sukhmani te sun, Sukh Paya." Hanji.
बात गई तत्काल मसाए.
Whatever difficulties, whatever hard times are on me, they're gone straight away. Guru Ki Sangat Ji, this Wazir Khan, Sukhmani Sahib in a kant kar li sigi. He had memorized it. He used to read 2 parts of Sukhmani Sahib every single day from that moment onwards. So he's done matha tek to Satguru Ji. He said sweet words to Satguru Ji. Maharaj ne batha liya. As he's sitting with Maharaj Ji, he said, "Maharaj, I've been sent here by the emperor, by the king. And the reason why I've been sent here because Chandu the Nindak, ਉਹ ਚੁਗਲੀ ਕਰਦਾ every single day. He's poisoning in the king's mind so much, he's making lies, he's talking rubbish, absolute rubbish about him. And the thing is, when he keeps on doing this, he's not only used one way to turn the emperor against you, he's used many ways. Like Guru Ki Sangat Ji we had heard last week, when Jahangir's Janam Patri went missing, something that was extremely dear to him, he blamed that on the Guru's Sikhs as well. Bar bar sun shaho bichalga. Having heard Chandu and the other ministers that side with him again and again and again, bichalga, the king's mind has turned away from the big upkar, the greatness that the house of Guru Nanak Dev Ji had done. And he's turned against the house of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. So bar sun Shahu Bichalga, the Shah, the emperor, has turned against you, Guru Sahib Ji. It's not just Chandu. Pun Umarav, the other ministers in the court of Jahangir, his cohorts, They have sided with him and also turned the emperor's mind against you.
ਚਾਹੇ ਕਹਾਵਤ
Chahe kahavat. Whatever he wishes, chahe. Kahavat he gets them to say to the emperor,
ਪਰਮ ਅਪਾਵਤ
which creates great doubt in the mind of the king.
ਏਵ ਸੁਨਾਵਤ ਦੁਸ਼ਟ ਮਹਾਨ
These are the kind of things he gets the emperor to hear from one person or another.
ਹਾਜ਼ਰਤ ਤੋਂ ਵਡਾਈ ਰਾਖਤ
But he said, look, so Chandu had talked the emperor into demanding 2 lakh rupiah from Guru Arjan Dev Ji, and had said, send guards and arrest Guru Arjan Dev Ji at Harmandir Sahib. And the emperor had almost reached that conclusion also. But when he spoke to Wazir Khan, he said, Wazir Khan, my ministers are saying this, what do you think I should do? This was many months before. And Wazir Khan said, look, Badshah Salamat, fine, your ministers are saying this, but remember this. It was the Gaddi of Guru Nanak Dev Ji in 5 forms that has supported your Dade Pardade. They gave you the Raj. Then when they were in difficulties, they've always gone to this house, and this house has always supported and protected them. So, Hazrat Taw Badai Rakat, Wazir Khan ji saying that the Hazrat, the emperor, he still keeps in great esteem and respect the house of Guru Nanak.
ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਨਾਨਕ ਗਾਦੀ ਪਰ ਜਾਨ
He knows that you are the 5th Sarup on the Gaddi, meaning the Takht, meaning the place of Guru Nanak.
ਕਰੇਹ ਕਾਰਨ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਕਾਰਨ
Karah Karan, he is doing Benti for what? Darshan Karan, that you come present yourself to the court with Darshan Davo. Look how many sweet words this Wazir Khan is using.
ਵਾਕ ਸੁਣ ਕੀ ਚਿਤ ਰੁਚ ਠਾਨ
He said that the emperor, in his mind, he's got this star to listen to your words.
ਪਠੋ ਆਪ ਡਿਗ ਮੈਨ ਚਲ ਆਇਓ
He's the one who said this to me and sent me. Therefore, I have arrived here.
ਦੇਵ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਕੋ ਬਿਰਧ ਕਿਰਪਾਲ
Oh, merciful Tan Satguru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj, Kirpa karo and give darshan.
ਸੁਨ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਰਜਨ ਬਾਕ ਬਖਾਨੇ
Tan Satguru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj, when they hear this, they speak from their Mukhar Bind.
ਹਮ ਇਸ ਹਿਤ ਆਏ ਮਗ ਚਾਲ
You see, Guru's care only Guru knows, nobody else knows. Regardless. Karte ki mit karta jane, keh jane gur sura. Only the Karta Akal Purkh Vaheguru knows his heart's desire. Keh jane gur sura, oh, the form of the Satguru. Nobody else knows. So Maharaj, Sun Sri Arjan Bak Bakhan, Tan Satguru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj speaks and says, Hum is hit aaye mag chal. We have traveled this distance from Amritsar Sahib to Lahore purely for this.
ਦਰਦ ਪ੍ਰਤੀਕਨ ਸਮਾਸੋ ਪਹੁੰਚੋ
What Guru Arjan Dev Ji means by that, he thinks Wazir Khan Ji, that Guru Arjan Dev Ji has come to Lahore to meet the king. What he doesn't know, Guru Arjan Dev Ji has come to smash the pot of their body upon the head of the Mughal Raj and take from them what they gave them in their first root. Kart Prathikan Sama Supocho. Maharaj, just for a second, within their mauj, they are thinking, now the time has come for us to do what we came here to do.
ਨਿਮ ਕਹਿ ਪਏ ਤਾਰ ਤਿਸ ਨਾਲ
Having said this, Maharaj doesn't wait another second. Maharaj makes preparation to leave.
ਛੱਡ ਖਾਸੇ ਪਰ ਗਮਨੋ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ
Maharaj say Fateh, give their praying to the Sangat that are there, and instantly they get aboard their Khasa, their Palki Sahib.
ਪੰਜ ਸਿੱਖ ਲੈ ਸੰਗ ਵਿਸਾਲ
Bhai Prana Ji, Bhai Langaha Ji, Bhai Jetha Ji, Bhai Paida Ji, Bhai Bidya Ji. These 5 Surveer Brahmgiani Mahatma Sikhs, they are with Guru Ji, and they also get ready to go with Guru Sahib Ji.
ਕਰੇ ਹਜ਼ਾਰ ਹੋ ਬੰਧਨ ਮਗ ਮਹਿ
Guru ki Sangat Ji benti hai, As Guruji causes to speak, we speak. We all have this charm to do Sukhmani Sahib part at home and Akhand part at home. We all very openly say King of Kings, Vaheguru, this, that and whatever else. But our treatment of Satguru Granth Sahib Ji Swaroop is not that. Mukho we say one thing, but andro we are something different. When Guru Maharaj's Swaroop, pehli te gall hai, if our houses are not worthy of Satguruji's Swaroop, we have Sharab Mass in our houses, we should never even think of taking Maharaj Ji there. Maharaj Ji is in a table or a chair. Maharaj Ji is the divine being. A Sikh comes to Guru Sahib Ji, doesn't take Guru Sahib Ji like some projector. But houses we are living in wrath of Guru Sahib Ji, and we are going to do a Khand Path Sahib Ji, we do Benti to Maharaj, Maharaj kare Charan Path. We must learn this. We shouldn't just send any old car. Na किसी ने स्नान किया उनका ना वास्ता दे come and take Maharaj Ji Swaroop तो उधर दे ग्रंथी सिंह है. They don't bother checking or upholding anything either. वो भी मुँह चक्के दांत तुर जाते. There's a Palki Sahib at this Gurdwara, and there's a beautiful Gursikh. He does a seva of Maharaj Ji Swaroops. He never says no to anyone. We should approach him. And then kam se kam, bare minimum, 5 jane, Sane Kesi Ishnan Karke should come to do Benti to go with Maharaj. Look, Maharaj is going, and 5 Surbir, Brahmgiani, Mahatma, 6, whose Jutti I not even like, they are ready to go with Satguru Ji.
Hare hohe pek het sanman.
Hoi padde pellu.
Kare hazar ho manzan mag meh.
Along the route, now picture this. How much Sangat are in the house? How much Sangat are just surrounding by Sadhuji's house? That when Maharaj leaves, Khare hazar ho bandan mag that there are thousands along the route standing. Bandan mag means rasta, along the way, standing there with their hands joined and doing standing there, haath jod ke namaskar kar rahe with pyar. And from their mouths they are saying Tan Tan Guru Sujas, the great Jas of Guruji, they are speaking from their mouths. As Maharaj is going along the way, Maharaj can hear his Premi Sikhs speaking beautiful words about Satguruji. Wazir Khan has gone on ahead. He's got on his horse and he's bolted straight to the palace. And he's given news. Hanji. Tan Pai Sahib Bhai Santokh Singh Ji. Tan Pai. Wazir Khan Ji. What does he say? Poche aaye Guru Bhagwan. He claps his hand, gets the attention of the servants, and he says, the Guru Bhagwan, the master of the universe, is here. In this court, Jahangir is there, his ministers are there, Chandu is there, the servants are there. Wazir Khan holds a lot of weight in the administration of Jahangir. What he says, no one can turn away. Uchasan ke ko daswayo. Ikdam claps his hand and he gives an order. He doesn't even consult the king, because the king confides in this Wazir Khan's wisdom and intelligence as it is. So the king knows whatever he says is always good. He says at once to the servants, Uch asan, make a place, high asan lagao, make a place, a seat for the Guru Bhagwan who is coming. Make sure it's uch above everyone else. So this Chandu, who had plotted the plan to have Guruji go to Jahangir's court, he thought Jahangir would snap his fingers, the guards would go on arrest. It's turned the other way. Jahangir has sent Wazir Khan, who's done Benti, and And Guru Maharaj is coming, and when he hears that there's going to be Ucha Asana rather than handcuffs, एकदम ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਫੇਰ ਗੁਰੂ ਕੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਦੀ ਅੱਗ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ, set on fire.
ਇਤਨੇ ਮਹਿ ਗੁਰ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਦੀਨਸ.
By which time Dhan Sat Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj has arrived and they have given darshan.
ਸਾਦਰ ਕਹਿ ਕਰ ਤਹਾਂ ਬਿਠਾਏ.
Even those ministers who for money side with Chandu and were filling the king's ears, when they see the divine sloop, the beautiful sloop of Satguru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj, even they with Prem Ji say, "Aao Satguru Ji, be seated over here."
ਸ਼ਾਹੋ ਨਮੋ ਗੁਰ ਕੁਸ਼ਲ ਪਰਸ਼ਨ ਕਰ.
Even the Shah, who I said last week, he's harboring ill will towards Guru Kar, Guru Sahib and Sikhs. But when he sees Guru Maharaj Ji, Guru Ki Sangat Ji, like when you see a great bright light, your eyes stints immediately. They don't ask your body, shall we close? Just like when we sit near fire, the warmth comes to us. The warmth doesn't ask our body, shall I give you warmth? Just like that, soon as Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj enters this place, even the Shah, he puts his hands together, bows his head, and he asks, I beg your pardon, he asks, Maharaj, Sab Sukh Shant hai, are you okay? As soon as he says this and bows his head, here, sab sees nivai, all the ministers, even the ones that have been filling Chandu's ears, Maharaj. Then the emperor asks, so last week we had heard when Chandu speaking to the emperor, he says to the emperor, look, don't be in two minds, emperor, call the Peer, the Guru of the Sikhs here. You just ask him about the Rasta to God, how to meet God. We'll deal with the rest. We will demand the 2 lakh rupiah and punish him accordingly for keeping thieves. So the king, just as such, what he does, he starts off the conversation, Hindu Turk je baad bitaye. So when Maharaj has sat down, everyone is ready, the king speaks and says, "Hey Maharaj, between the Hindus and the Turks there is great argument that each one is saying I am great. The Hindus saying that I am great, and the Turks, the Musliman, they are saying they are greater." Both of them are saying. So the Hindus are saying to the Muslims that you're going to go to hell. The Muslims are saying to the Hindus, no, you're going to go to hell. Because the Hindus are saying we are greater, and the Muslims are saying we are greater. There's this argument going on between them both. Dhan Bhai Sahib Bhai Santokh Singh Ji, he writes a pankti and he shows the kamal of his lekhani as a poet, as a likhari, as a kavi. No wonder we call him Kavi Raj, the king of kavis, right? So he writes what Jahangir is asking. In the same sentence he asks the question, and in the same sentence he answers what Guru Sahib Ji said to him. And this is the kamal of his writing. So he writes, Dono meh ko sahib janne. We hear Guruji, sahib means great. From the both, who should we know was great? Kis par karna kare khudaye. Upon whom is the mercy of Khuda? That's the question, right? Now Guruji answers. And what Guruji answers, he writes. He doesn't change any words. The answer is in the same pankti. Dono meh ko sahib janne. Guruji Maharaj says between the two, the one who has got to know the Sahib, meaning Vaheguru now, not just great, the one who has got to know Vaheguru, kis par karna kare khudai, upon that person is the mercy, is the blessing of Khuda. Tell me, hey Satguru, who is speaking the truth and who is speaking nonsense? Meaning, will the Hindus go to hell or will the Muslims go to hell? Are the Hindus greater or? He said that this doubt, this question is troubling me and it's been in my mind for a long time. Uttar deho peer tum dirag. He said, Maharaj, you are a great peer. You answer this
ਜਿਸ ਤੇ ਮਮ ਖਾਤਰ ਹੋਏ ਜਾਏ
so that my mind can be assured who is greater. What he's actually doing, Guru Ki Sangat Ji, is he's asked who is greater and who will go to hell. Two questions, right? If Guruji says, well, Maharaj is going to say something totally different, but his mind, don't forget he's a king. He's had fantastic education, and within the confines of his mind, with whatever intelligence he's got, he thinks he's got Guruji cornered. And I tell you what, when he asks who's greater and who's going to hell, if Guruji says the Hindus are greater, then he will say, oh, the Hindus are not only greater, but the Muslims are going to go to hell. Then what he will say, but if the Hindus were greater, why would us Muslims come to rule over this land? If the Hindus were greater, why would our Muhammad Sahib say that Muslims go to heaven? If he says it, if he gets the response from Guru Arjan Dev Ji that the Muslims are greater and the Hindus are going to go to hell, then he put his hand. Even the Hindu Peer, because I call Guruji Peer Hind, the Peer of the Hindus, right? He'll say even the Peer is saying that us Muslims are great and that they're going to go to hell. Argument closed. This is what he asks. And now let us hear what Maharaj says. When Guruji Maharaj hears this from Jahangir, Maharaj answers in a Shabad that can be found in Rag Ram Kali, Guru Ki Sangat Ji, by Tan Satguru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj. Those of you who saw the advertisement for this Diwan on social media would have read that we will learn about the 3 steps to Brahmgian. We're going to have to do a part 2 of that next week. We're not going to reach it. We've got 10 minutes left, but in these 10 minutes, Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj Sache Paatshah Kirpa Karan, that we can even in the most basic way just hear the art of the jawab, the response Guruji Maharaj has given, which is the Bani of Satguru Arjan Dev Ji in Rag Ram Kali, from the holy mouth of Tan Satguru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji, in the Rag of Ram Kali by Tan Satguru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji. Tan Satguru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj says, look, koi bola Ram Ram. Some are saying Ram Ram, meaning the one is saying Ram Ram and the other is saying Khudaye. One is saying Allah. Now what Maharaj is saying? Look, Ram means Ramya, means all pervading. Allah means the God, the all pervading God, the one that is everywhere. Khudaye, Khud, I, the one everywhere, meaning all pervading. Khud I, the one who is in the Khud, in the self. So Maharaj says, whether you say Ram or whether you say Khudai, the meanings are exactly the same. Just 2 different names. We say London, the French say Londres. It's the same place. Same word. We say Pani. In English we say water. Same thing, different names. So in the next pankti it was Koi Seva Gosaiya, Koi Rai. Someone says Gosaiya, the one who is the protector of this world, and Koi Allah. Someone says he is the great, the God. In the next pankti Maharaj says Karan Karan Rahim. The Hindus say he is Karan Karan. He is the cause of everything and he is merciful. And the Muslims say Kirpa Tar Rahim. Again, he is the merciful one that does everything. Maharaj says, look, one goes to Teeth, which is pilgrimage, and one goes Hajj, which again is pilgrimage.
कोई करे पूजा कोई सिर निभाए
One does puja and one bows down. Both are forms of worship.
कोई पढ़े वेद कोई कतेब
One reads the Vedas, Upanishads, the Shastras, the Simrtiyas, and the others, they read Kateb, they read the Torah, the Bible, they read the Quran.
कोई ओढ़े नील कोई सफेद
So you know when Maharaj says one reads the Vedas and one reads the Kateb, what is the main message from the Granths, from the Vedas downwards? The main message is Tattvam Asi, that you are the one. What is the main message of the Katebs, of those Granths that are from the religions that descended from Abraham? What is the message? Khuda. Same thing.
कोई कहे तुर्क
Koi Ode Neel,
कोई
koi.
ओढ़े नील कोई सफेद
Mara said, look, one wears blue, one wears white. They're both colors, still a color, right?
कोई कहे तुर्क कोई कहे हिंदू
One calls himself a Turk, the other one calls themselves a Hindu. Both have got 2 arms, 2 legs, a body and a head. What's the difference?
कोई बाचे पिस्त कोई सिर गंदू
One calls the same place Pist, paradise. The other one calls it Surgindu, Surg. The Christians call it heaven. It's exactly the same place.
कहो नानक जिन हुक्म पछाता
Dhan Guroo Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj, now after answering him that there's no difference between the two, no one is greater and nobody in particular is going to go to hell, Maharaj now tells their Siddhant, their way. Dhan Guroo Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj says, what we say is the one that has come to recognize, understand and follow hukam, which means all Guru.
प्रभु साहिब का तिन भेद जाता
Only that person comes to know God. What Jahangir was asking in effect is who is greater, who was Kaun Sahib Jane, who has come to know the Sahib. Maharaj says the one who listens to, understands and obeys the hukam, only he has come to know the Akal Purkh Vaheguru.
दोहरा श्री परमेश्वर एक है
Maharaj says that Sri Parmeshwar, there is only one supreme being.
जगत दोए बताए
But you know that one supreme being, nothing can split that supreme being other than the mind of the fool. Both are arguing, they're calling the same being by 2 different names and making 2 out of 1. Sri Gurbani Ji starts with 1. There is only one Akal Purkh Vaheguru Guru Ki Sangat Ji. Nowhere more in the Sikh religion is that taught to us that ਜਿਹੜਾ ਰੱਬ ਆਪਣੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਵਸਦਾ ਉਹ ਦਰਖਤਾਂ 'ਚ ਵੀ ਵਸਦਾ, ਹਿੰਦੂਆਂ 'ਚ, ਮੁਸਲਮਾਨਾਂ 'ਚ, ਯਹੂਦੀਆਂ 'ਚ. He is in every single heart.
सुनहो शाहो निश्चय करहो
Listen to me, O Shah. Dhan Satguru Arjan Dev Ji is saying, and know this in your heart.
एको राम खुदाए
Whether it's Ram or Khudai, it's the one supreme being.
अर्थ कृपाल रहीम को
The earth, the meanings of Kirpal and Rahim,
एको जानो जाए
both mean exactly the same thing. What do they mean? They mean merciful.
पखबाद कर परस पर
Pakbad kar parspar, just for the sake of argument.
झूठे दोए बनाए
He was asking who's greater and who's going to hell. Dhan Satguru Arjan Dev Ji is sitting there and telling Jahangir that both the Muslims and the Hindus, both are jhoothe. They're both liars. They are both liars and jhoothe. How? When for the sake of argument, they only argue their own belief and do not even listen and understand the beliefs of others and understand that the same Khuda that they bow down to is also present in those that they are arguing with.
अपरो मत है अपर विद
Then Maharaj says that our mat, Gurmat, is different.
मिलहो दोनों साथ
Even it's the same as the two. as the Turks, as the Muslims and the Hindus, but yet it's totally different. How is it the same? Guru Ki Sangat ji, all both the frogs and other insects that live in a pond, they live in the water, and so do all the weeds and other plants. But the lotus flower, even though it lives in the water, it stays separate from the water at all times. Meaning that 6, Gurmat, even though it's in this world amidst people that argue, oh, can they Khuda vadda, oh, can they Ram vadda, that they don't realize it's the same being. Gurmat, whilst being amongst this, likes the roots of the lotus flower, but upper bid, it is totally juda, totally separate. And even then we are separate from both. Why? Because in the house of Guru Nanak Dev Ji there is no argument. Bhagata Ravidas Ji Maharaj in the Bani says, Sarve ek aneka swami sab kat bhogoe soi. This is the teaching of Guru Ka. That sarve ek, everywhere, the one who is pervading everywhere, aneka swami, in anek forms. Look how many of you are sitting here. What is he doing? Sab kat bhogoe soi. He is in our hearts, in each and every single one of us. He is the one that is looking and experiencing these eyes and listening to these ears. We just think it's us. Where this he is. So Maharaj says, in the house of Guru Nanak, in our house, there is no chagda. We don't say who is great and who is not great. We know that the one Ram Khuda, that Vaheguru, is everywhere. Guru Ki Sangat Ji, when on this note, I will Maharaj Kirpa Kan Bisram Deyange. Maharaj said there is no chagda. There is no us and you or Sada Rab, the Thwada Rab. But this afflicts every other religion that you see. Look at the Muslim, Jews and Christians. They stem from Abraham, but they are battling with each other every single day. Just look what's happening in the Middle East, in Palestine and Israel. Yet they are brothers. They are brothers of the same father of Abraham. But in Guru Ka, Maharaj says, "Eh hai nahi." When Bahadur Shah, the son of Aurangzeb, when he came to visit Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji Maharaj one day, he came and bowed down, and what he uttered was, "Ek Khuda, ek Khuda hai." Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji Maharaj, Netar Band, Maharaj speaks from the lotus mat and say, "Teen Khuda, teen Khuda." When Bahadur Shah hears this, he's thinking, did I hear that right? There is only one Khuda. I've just said, Ek Khuda hai, ek Khuda hai. What did Guruji just say? So he says again, Ek Khuda hai, ek Khuda hai. Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji Maharaj opened their Kamal Netar. They look at Bahadur Shah and they say, Teen Khuda hai, teen Khuda. Means that there are 3 Khudas. Bahadur Shah Ji asked, he said, Maharaj, we believe there's one Khuda. You also says there's only one Akal Purkh Vaheguru. But you now just said there's 3. Maharaj said, Bahadur Shah, there is only one Khuda, but there's 3. You split him into 3. There's one Khuda that you Muslims think that you bow to, oh Khudaya. Then you see a different God in the Hindus, making that Khuda into 2. And then you see a different God in the Sikhs, making that Khuda into 3. So, teen Khuda pe, teen Khuda. In your mind there is 3, but tu muhot eh kehna, ek Khuda pe, ek Khuda. So, Guru Ki Sangat Ji, Eithe Maharaj Di Kirpa. We shall pause. And from here we will pick up. And what Maharaj will impart next week, Guru Ki Sangat Ji, please time sir aayo. We are not sitting here because we have got nothing else to do. We are sitting here because of that great destiny on our forehead. ਵੱਡੇ ਭਾਗਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ, only with the greatest fortune do we find a place in this sangat. And when we find a place in this sangat, how do we reach our end destination, which is the meal with Satguru? How? By listening. That's why in Japji Sahib the Bani starts, the Siddhant starts off by Sunaya Siddh Peer Surnath. Sunaya Sravan Mannan Nidyasan Tatvanada Sodan, the 4 stages, starts off by listening. So when we sit here, we listen. What do we listen to? We listen to that becomes a light in our jivan to then show us the way to Guru. If I was to ask, where is a Kalpur Khwai Guru? Which way will we point? Kidhar nu javange? Where will we go? Where will we find him? But ਇੱਥੇ ਬੈਠਿਆਂ ਦਿਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਦਿਖਾ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ। Happens is called Brahmgian. ਧੰਨ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਅਰਜਨ ਦੇਵ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਮੇਰੇ ਸਿਰ ਦੇ ਮਾਲਕ, they will tell us the Guru ਦੀ ਸੰਗਤ next week. ਸੋ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਚਰਨਾਂ ਤੇ ਮੱਥਾ ਟੇਕ ਕੇ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਕੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, come next week, look, ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੀ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ, it's like a gathering of angels. We are sitting here listening to the Katha of Satguru ji. We will learn how to meet with them, and we will also learn what their way is, and we will also learn, when we learn their way, how our own thinking needs to be reformed. So on that note, Dhan Satguru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj, Kirpa come and forgive all the mistakes I made. May you forgive all the mistakes. Let us all pray in the now, focus our attention on Satguru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. Gur Fateh bulaiye, so Maharaj blesses us. Wow.